We're now going to move to the wall. So turn your mat at a right angle to the wall and have two blocks. You don't have to have blocks. You can do without the blocks. I'll show both ways. And we're going to step our right foot forward and take the left heel back. You can kind of hop back with the left heel. And you may have to adjust your spacing. I was a little too long there. And so now my hips are facing I'm trying to keep my hips in a sagittal plane here, facing forward. My heel is down against the wall. And where the heel is touching the wall, I'm going to give extra attention there to the outer heel. So I'm just going to try to sink down through that outer heel. Keep my left hip moving forward. Take your arms up, lift your side ribs up, lift your chest up. You can look up if you have the balance. Otherwise, don't stay there too long, but take your hips back and bring your hands down to your blocks, which are on either side of your foot. Again, find the connection down, the grounding down through both your feet. The 4 points of each foot, big toe ball mound, little toe ball mound, inner heel, outer heel. And the front foot as well as the back foot. And now here, move your chest forward and slide your shoulder blades back. Pressing down through both feet, firm in your knees, and keep a sense of the hips moving back, especially come in at your outer right hip and move it back to the wall. And take your hands to your hips. Again, press down through both feet. Come up, turn to the side to come out of that. And go to the second side. So one foot steps forward, the other foot hops back. You could actually do that by initiating the back foot back. You know, you can adjust what works better for you and then hopping the front foot forward. And I right away notice a difference between my right ankle and my left ankle. This is a bigger stretch for my right ankle, the back ankle here. So I have to bring more attention to pressing the outer right heel down. Swing your arms up, lift your side ribs up, and take your hips back as you reach out, and then let your arms come down, but keep the movement forward of your side ribs and of your chest. Again, connect down into your feet, find the 4 corners of each foot. Bring a little extra attention to the outer right heel. Come in at your outer left hip and move your outer left hip back towards the wall behind you. Take your hands to your hips, press into your feet, and come up, and you can turn to the side to come out. Hey, if you do have blocks, just keep your blocks. Maybe move them out a little bit where you are. And now we're going to, again, be doing a sideways pose, but now at the wall, your outer left heel, or a whole outer left foot actually to start with, is at the wall. And that's sort of nice to get that touch of the wall. And now, I just realized I'm wearing the wrong glasses. Anyway, we're going to just keep going here. So turn your left toes in, press the outer left heel into the wall. Turn your whole right leg out so the right toes are facing the center of the room, but have your chest still facing forward. Open your arms out. The left arm has to be a little bit bent at first. And then as you bend your knee again, you get a real strong sense of direction here when you're at the wall. So this is our Warrior Two pose for a moment here. Knee going directly into the center of the room, following the direction of the toes. You have to resist it coming forward. So keep it moving back behind you. And now we'll fold at the right hip. pull the thigh bone into the hip as you come in over into Utthita Parshvakonasana. Again, go take your awareness back to your back foot. Press the back foot down. Try to get the outer heel descending. You might notice as you do that you can lift the arch of the back foot better. Firm the back knee. Move your right knee into your right arm. And stretch from the left foot through the left hand. Breathe in and come up. Turn your feet forward. And you can jump back together, and you'll get to see me from behind now. Widen out, and I'm starting with my toes facing forward, just so I have like clarity about direction in my legs. Turn my left toes in, press the outer left heel to the wall, turn all the way to the center of the room. You're gonna, whoops there, I was going the wrong pose. So I turn my whole left leg around, keeping my chest forward, and I bend the left knee, keeping the knee attracted back towards where the camera is now. And then I insert the left thigh into the hip and come into Utthita Parshvakonasana. Again, go to the feet. Press the whole right foot down. You get the outer right heel descending more. Move the left knee into the left arm. And stretch from your right foot through your right arm. And breathe in. When you come up, turn your feet forward. And jump or step your feet back together. So if you don't have a block for that, when you come down, you could come down and put your hand here on your knee. You could reach for the floor. But if reaching to the floor means that you're shortening the underside of your body or your hips going way back behind you, I would actually choose this instead so that you can create the length in the torso. So the shape of the pose is actually giving you greater freedom in your torso, not collapse and less inner space. So really all the poses are about finding more support for ourselves, creating inner space for ourselves. Maybe let's do that one time without a block. So you can repeat with a block or you can repeat without a block. Here we go. Bend the leg to the square, come over. So I'm sort of connecting down through my right elbow here. And then from the press of my left foot, stretching the left arm and lengthening in the torso. So there's a kind of rising. Second side. Starting square, then turning the legs, one step at a time, Krama, taking one step at a time in a sequence. Now we'll move on to Warrior One. If you do have a block, you'll put the block at the wall and hold the block with your knee. We've done this one in class a lot. And again, I'm hopping that back foot back. This time though, I'm going to let my heel be up. And with my heel up, I can really get the left hip to face the wall. I'm also going to initially drop that knee, actually bend the knee, and allow my tailbone to drop down. So I have a tendency to push my belly forward and leave my tailbone back. So I actually want to feel that the tailbone first drops, the back lengthens, and the abdomen is more supported. So then when I start to straighten the back leg, I keep the tailbone moving forward, almost as though the tailbone is going into the knees pressing into the block. And then lift the chest from there, slide your shoulder blades down back, almost try to pull the wall down with your hands. And then come up, take the block, come out of it. Second side. My toes, by the way, are touching the wall. If your foot's a little bigger, your toes might even be up the wall a little bit. That can be a good stretch on the foot. If it's too painful a stretch, though, it's fine to step the foot back so that your toes are flat. So again, I'm dropping the knee down, letting the tailbone drop down, and letting that abdomen settle on the back body. Then as I straighten the leg, I keep moving the tailbone forward and lift the side ribs. Slide my shoulder blades down my back. Again, my shoulders tend to want to lift. I slide them down the back and lift my chest. And then release. Come out of it. We're going to do that in a different orientation. And I'm going to allow my dog to enter the yoga room since there's no students to disturb. Okay, now we're going to turn away from the wall, and you can have that block flatten out at the wall, or you can just, let me show with no block, or you can just place your heel up the wall. It's almost like I've made a 45 degree there with my foot. But it's kind of nice to make that 45 degrees and press the heel into the block. And I'm almost at the end of the heel, but not quite. I've got enough of the heel on there that there's something to really press. Now, if this is a difficult balance position for you, you could have a chair here and go quickly into the pose. The more you can get a press into the back heel, that might help with the balance. So bend your leg into the pose. Again, remember that feeling of how when you drop the knee, the tailbone can drop down. And then keep the tailbone moving forward as you straighten the thigh more. Okay, my feet. And then let's, this time, roll the arms out, sweep the arms overhead, lift your ribs up, and now feel within yourself the contrast between not the contrast, but the dynamism between the back thigh going back, the tailbone moving forward, and the reach up through your arms. Lift your chest and look up. And come up. He's actually licking the moisturizer off my legs. Bjorn, buddy, leave it. Well, lay down. Second side. Bed, go on to bed. Right heel is up on the block. I brought my right heel all the way forward, so if I had headlights in my hips, they'd be shining forward. Well, lay down, bed. And bend the leg to the square. You can even bend the back leg a little bit to drop the tailbone down. Keep the tailbone moving forward as you straighten the leg. Take your arms out. Roll your arms to the ceiling. Sweep your arms up. Lift your ribs up. Feel the counter movement between the movement of the right thigh back, the movement of your tailbone forward, the lift of your ribs, especially the back ribs. And come up. Turn to the side to come out of it. Okay, we're going to take a chair. You could use any chair, kitchen chair, dining room chair, office chair. And I'm going to turn my chair to face you first and sit with my legs wide. And we're going to do a little twisting here.